So the fan on my 450 quit working. So what I ended up doing was taking one of the car fan, take focus, ended up cutting the fan out, and I ended up zip tying it to the actual fan shroud. And then I had to go get wire connectors to wire up this fan to the four-wheeler. And while I was down there, I found a fan at the parts store that has the 3 mounts like the stock one does. Now the fan that's in there only has 2 mounts, one here and one here, so I couldn't pull the motor out and stick it into this one. And when I did try to stick it in there, even the stock fan blades wouldn't work. So it's ended up being that fan right there, which it actually worked. But I'm going to try to take this fan motor out and put it in that one back into the stock and just have the stock blades and everything if I can, because this one's a little bit smaller. It actually probably would fit up inside it if I needed to. If we have to, I might just put this one in there like that, because it'll fit inside and it'll give me better mounts. So I'll let you know what happens in a little bit. Okay, so if you had to, this is the fan shroud off the fan I just bought. It slides down in there. You could cut all these out of the old fan housing and get you this from AutoZone. Let's see, 73367, which is a 10-inch fan. And then you got 650 CFM. So worst case scenario, you could do that. But what I ended up doing was taking the motor out of it. And it bolts right into the stock fan. A replacement fan motor was 50 bucks. This fan I just bought was 50 bucks. So hopefully I can put the stock blades and everything back on this fan and it works. I'll be right back later. So there it is. Blades are a little bit small, but gets me back on the four-wheeler. So I can order a right motor or leave this on there as long as it keeps it cool. I ended up cutting the plug off the old motor, putting 2 butt connectors on it, bullet connectors, whatever you call it. So let me get it back together and see if she works. Okay, we got stock fan and motor right here. The one I cut apart is here, which this right here would have probably worked perfect if I hadn't found this one at the parts store. The only bad thing about this one at the parts store is that the actual fan itself is smaller. So I'll probably end up buying another motor for this one so I can put the stock one back on at a later part or later time. But this gets me all going to go ride Sunday. This fan I had from my Blazer, which we did a V8 swap, so I had an extra fan. So this was pretty much just laying on my shelf, no money. This one here was like 40 bucks. And like I said, this here, if need to be, you pull out all the mounts that are laying over there. And if you cut the centerpiece out of your stock fan housing, this one would slide in there, and then you could probably just run screws through it and bolt it into the stock housing. But this is the part number for anybody that needs to get going quick to go riding somewhere. And it was at AutoZone. And it's a 10-inch fan. 10-inch fan at 650 CFM. So hopefully it keeps it cool enough for us to ride Sunday. It's supposed to be pretty warm Sunday, so we should be able to see some good temperature rise. But I bolted everything back on the four-wheeler, started it up, rode it around, kicked on and off like it's supposed to. So, peace. Alright, it's all back together. Just waiting for a ride, see if the fan kicks back on again, which it did. But here's an update for the XMR filler cap up here, so I can get all the air out of the system. I think I'm going to get the XMR catch tank that goes over on the side and plumb it in like it's supposed to be. Might get rid of the catch tank down here because I'll end up putting snorkels on it. So I'm going to have to move that. hot. See if the fan kicks on. But that's the update. Fan motor. Like I said, the little fan blades are smaller than the stock, but I think it'll be alright for a while. So I can get the right motor for it. Put the other motor or the other stock blades back in it. That's our little 450 2019.